You might have known this guy and you might have seen him online. He was a socialist reformer who lived in Argentina and died in Bolivia. His stories are famous throughout the world. He is accepted as a socialist role model. Today I will cover his biography, which is done by John Lee Anderson. The book is divided into three major parts. First of all, we go through his younghood, how he grew up. He was born somewhere in 1963 and in Argentina. He spent his younghood in Los Altos in Argentina. His family wasn't particularly wealthy but wasn't poor either. They had high expenses but low income. Throughout his early life, his parents had a lot of influence on him. And some people might not know, but he also graduated as a doctor. Although he was fierce and spent his younghood mostly in mischievous acts, he actually subjected time to self study. That is one major point that we learn from him. Secondly, this part also includes his motorcycle diaries and the time he spent traveling throughout Chile, Argentina, and Bolivia. It is particularly amazing how he spent his time and how he recorded all those in his diaries. After receiving his guerrilla education in Mexico, he then moved on to Cuba. He went into Cuba through a small vessel called Granma. When the vessel landed, there was a particularly heavy event. Heavy gunfire rang throughout the forest where they had landed, and most of the people with Che were killed. At this particular time, he was given the title Che. Before he was only known as Ernesto Guevara. So in that time, he went from about 14 to 15 men that he had in his command, along with Fidel Castro, who was at a superior post than him, and he gathered an army of around 1,000 or 2,000 and dealt with the government of Cuba. He overthrew the government of Cuba and went on to establish the new government. In the third part, we come to know about his communist ideology. He slowly and steadily became a communist and a thorough communist. He opposed capitalism, and somehow America got to know about it. When America got to know about his communist ideas, he made it much more visible. Now America was threatened because America had a communist country right at its foot. America very much opposed communism at the time because of the Cold War and etc. Now Che had a view. He didn't only wanted to convert Cuba into a communist country, which he did. He also wanted to revolutionize all of the Latin America. So next he moved on to Bolivia. Although it was kind of controversial that he didn't move on to Argentina, he moved on to Bolivia instead. In Bolivia, again, he started with the team of around 14 to 15 men. He had the same expectations that he would grow it into like a force of 1,000, 2,000, and then take over the government of Bolivia. But America got to know about this through a secret agent. Now, when America got to know about it, they attacked his settlement and displaced him. He was now wandering through the canyons, the deserted and thirsty canyons of Bolivia. At that time, he was shot and killed by an American agent in a house which was planned. After 30 years, his body was found. We get to know a lot about his character. He was particularly staunch towards government resources. Once his daughter became severely ill and his new wife, Alida, wanted to use the vehicle that was given to them by the government, but Che didn't allow. He instead insisted that she take public transport to the hospital. That tells us a lot about his character, that how staunch he was towards the resources that were given to him by the government. It is quite known that he was very brave, and his last words were, namely, "I know you are gonna kill me, then shoot, coward. You are only going to kill a man. And after hearing that, the shooter was actually quite terrified. He was saying that what kind of man he was going to kill. He knew that he wasn't going to kill a man. He was going to kill an ideology. If you liked our video, please like, share and subscribe. This is a new channel and we are trying to develop it. Thank you.